Welcome to the anatomical model of your eye. In anatomy, the superior eyelid is referred to as the superior tarsus. The lower lid is referred to as the inferior tarsus. The upper eyelid is controlled by a muscle called the Levator Palpebrae Superioris. Next, let's go through the parts of the lacrimal apparatus. This entire structure in brown is the lacrimal gland. This portion of the lacrimal gland is known as the palpebral part of the lacrimal gland, whereas the remaining portion is considered the orbital portion or the orbital part of the lacrimal gland. The lacrimal gland has ducts located here in green. Here on the other side, we see the lacrimal sac. The lacus lacrimalis. The lacus lacrimalis, the superior lacrimal canaliculus, and the inferior lacrimal canaliculus. Here at 12, we have the lacrimal papilla, or the lacrimal punctum. The structure at 11C is the lacrimal peduncle. Attached to the upper and lower eyelids are two ligaments. Here at number 4, we have the medial palpebral ligament. On the lateral side, away from the nose, we have the lateral palpebral ligament. Let's remove our eyelid and the lacrimal apparatus to reveal more structures underneath. The eye itself has 6 extraocular muscles. We have the superior rectus, the inferior rectus, the medial rectus, and the lateral rectus. In addition to these 4 muscles, we have 2 oblique muscles. One is the superior oblique, located on the superior portion of the eye that points towards the medial side, whereas the inferior oblique lies here inferiorly and points laterally. Remember, in this model, the medial side is going to be the side with more bone towards the nose. The outermost layer of the eye is sometimes referred to as the fibrous layer of the eyeball. The fibrous layer of the eyeball has 2 main components. The first component is the clear cornea that makes the outermost portion of the anterior eye. The other portion of the fibrous layer of the eyeball is the white sclera. The sclera is the white portion of the eyes. Some of the other structures that we can see is the pupil, which is a hole in the iris, and the colored portion of the eye, which is the iris. Moving this around, we can also see the optic nerve and more of the inferior rectus and inferior oblique. The lateral rectus and superior rectus. Looking at the medial view, we can see the medial rectus, the superior oblique, and the superior rectus, and also the optic nerve again. A portion of the inferior rectus too. The middle layer of the eye is referred to as the vascular layer of the eye. This gives us a better view of a portion of the cornea as well. Let's remove the vascular layer of our eye. In this model, all of the brown coloring indicates the choroid or the choroid coat. The choroid coat is complete with ciliary nerves, shown in yellow. The choroid also contains the ciliary arteries in red, and the massive complex of the vorticose veins, seen here in blue. The vorticose veins is sometimes referred to as the vortex veins, given their appearance. In this view, we can also see part of the optic nerve. I'm able to see the iris, and I can see the hole in the iris, which is the pupil. Here at 4, we have the ciliary muscles. Now that we're done with our vascular layer, let's go one more layer deep. At this point, we are considered to be at the inner layer of the eyeball. In the chamber shown here, we have the vitreous humor. In this model, the vitreous humor is shown as this clear ball. Another rather obvious structure of the inner layer of the eyeball is the lens. Here is the lens. Notice that the lens is biconvex, whereas the cornea is only convex on one side. The shape of the lens is controlled by the ciliary muscles. This structure is called the ciliary body and houses the ciliary muscles. As we get closer to the lens, we can see the ligaments that connect to the lens in an area called the corona ciliaris. The corona ciliaris. Here we can also see a cross-section of the optic nerve. The wall of the eye has 3 layers. The outermost layer is the sclera in white. The middle layer is the choroid, and the innermost layer of the eye is the retina. The retina is denoted by the color orange on the inner layer of the eyeball. The retina contains blood vessels, which are the retinal arterioles in red and the retinal venules in blue. The centermost portion of our vision is located at this structure denoted as number 13 in this model. This region of the retina is called the macula. The centermost portion of the macula is called the fovea or fovea centralis. The point at which the optic nerve leaves the eye is called the optic disc. The optic disc does not have any photoreceptors at all.